I think I've forgotten how to film a YouTube video. What the hell? This is so weird. Is it even recording? This is a new camera I'm working from. I've never used this camera before. I bought a new camera. This is the Sony, don't even know what make this is, but it's a Sony vlogging camera and it's completely different to my Canon. And it's just like, this is all very new. Hello everyone. Long time no speak. It's actually been, wait, I think it's been like 2 months. When did I last post? 2 months ago. And it was my H&M haul. And that was before I even started my current work. That's actually crazy. That feels like a lifetime. So much has happened since that video. I mean, let's start off with the elephant in the room. Your girl's cooking a full-on human baby. I was meant to say human being, but full-on human baby in her stomach. We are 17 weeks. And yeah, we're cooking them up nicely, which is what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about my first trimester experience. Ooh, this is so weird. I've not been on YouTube for so long, so I feel like, oh my god, hi, I'm pregnant, you know, let's get on with it. So yeah guys, I am 17 weeks pregnant. So much. I feel like we need to just like have a big catch up. I think I'm going to do a vlog as well, where I'm going to talk more about other things. But this video, I've got my notebook. I wanted this video to be dedicated to all about my first trimester experience, finding out about my pregnancy and just everything like that, symptoms, cravings, things that I found tough, maybe my positive experiences, just literally everything. I've got everything in this little notebook. I stayed up till really late last night. You have to bear with me because your girl has been super out of breath. I mean, I usually am quite out of breath, but let me tell you, definitely been out of breath more since being pregnant. I do just want to say before I kind of get into this, there might be a few, do I do like a little warning? I don't know when it comes to like pregnancy. Like obviously I'm going to be talking about my whole experience. My experience is going to be completely different to someone else's experience. Everyone goes through completely different things. And yeah, I just wanted to share my journey because I know that when I first found out, the first thing I was doing was looking up my first trimester experience, finding out, you know, I'm pregnant, and just watching loads of videos like that. So I thought I would jump on the bandwagon. It was only right because, you know, that's me. So I think let's just get straight onto it. I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, I think this is a really weird video to come back to and do. Like it's a bit of like a surprise. And especially I haven't really been very active on Instagram or anything. I've just been kind of taking a break. And I think since my Canon died on me, and which by the way, it got written off. Like it was a write-off. That's why I thought I'd upgrade and get the Sony. Which let me know if what the quality is like. I think the quality is so much better. Looking in the viewfinder is on this side rather than at the top. I think it looks better. I think. But lost my train of thought. I think I just need to get straight onto it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Hopefully your girl's back. I don't know. All I know is that I definitely want to document this journey ahead, getting everything ready. You guys know I love organising and things like that, so we'll be getting the nursery ready together. Just loads of exciting things coming up, and I have planned a little bit of content for the next few weeks. So yeah, if you guys want to stick around, make sure you subscribe, follow my TikTok. I'm more online than on TikTok nowadays, and I am on Instagram, so I'll leave a link below. I'm just going to get straight into it because I feel like I'm going to waffle. Okay, so I guess let's start off by talking about finding out I'm pregnant. Before I do get onto that, I do want to talk about, obviously I have mentioned this because it happened last year in previous vlogs, my most current previous vlogs, but I actually was diagnosed with polycystic ovaries last year, and that kind of plays a key part in what I wanted to talk about in this video. So I came off the pill about a year ago. About a year ago? Yeah, about maybe a year and a half ago. And then since kind of coming off the pill, it wasn't for any particular reason. We wasn't trying to get pregnant. It's just I wanted a break from kind of putting like hormones into my body. So once I came off the pill, I realised that my cycles were really, really long apart. They were literally about, I think the most longest time apart it had from one another was 60 days, and then it started just averaging between 50 and 60 days, and I think it got to like maybe my second or third cycle where I thought this isn't right. It was around, I think I want to say around summertime I noticed, maybe, yeah it was, I think it was around summer, that I went to the doctors, and I'm not going to talk about going to the doctors about it because they were helpful, but obviously the times and waiting and getting blood tests done and tests done, it just literally took from like around summertime, end of summertime to winter time to actually get a diagnosis. And in that time I had 3 blood tests and 2 ultrasounds, one that was, is it transvaginal, and one that was, I think that's transvaginal, and one that was on the belly. So I think that's quite a long time to kind of get a diagnosis. But anyway, long story short, I ended up getting diagnosed with polycystic ovaries, and I wouldn't have found that out if I didn't really have those really delayed cycles. So upon kind of all of that, I never actually spoke about this, but there's a reason why I'm telling you guys all of this, because it will all kind of tie in together. And also, if anybody out there has polycystic ovaries, I know, like for me, I was absolutely stressing. Like I convinced myself I'd never be able to conceive, and like that's why I'm hoping maybe this might help someone that thinks like that. But upon actually having my diagnosis of polycystic ovaries, this is not something I've spoke about much, but I actually, when they'd done my blood test, I actually was showing that I was producing macroprolactin, which I'm not going to explain too much because it's very scientific, and even I kind of understand, but prolactin is actually a hormone that's produced from your pituitary gland, which is just up here. Now prolactin is actually milk it's the hormone that's in charge of producing milk when you're pregnant. And at this time I was not pregnant. I wasn't even thinking, like, you know, there's nothing growing inside of me at this time. But it was showing that I was like producing like an abnormal amount, and essentially the reason why that can happen is you could have a tumour growing on your pituitary gland. So I was also going through tests for that, but they decided after my second blood test, I think it was my second or third, that my levels weren't abnormally high to the point like you need to go in an MRI scan. This is really long-winded, but I promise there's something, we're going to get to a point here. So yeah, it turned out like they weren't too concerned. Last year I was diagnosed with polycystic ovaries, and then I also just convinced myself, because I'm a little bit of I wouldn't say I'm a drama queen, but I overthink so much. I think it comes from a little bit of my anxiety. Like the minute I'm not a hypochondriac, but you know, when you're being, you know, when you start thinking you've got like something might be growing in your head, you know, that's not a fun thing to experience. So the end of last year was just horrific. So I just like convinced myself. And So anyway, I was talking to the doctors after I got my diagnosis of polycystic ovaries, and they essentially told me that if you ever want to have children, don't wait until further down the line. And when they say further down that line, they literally meant late 20s. To me, that is not late. Like, that's crazy to me, because my mum had me at 35. Like, that's not late. I know people that, you know, are late 20s and have children. I just think that's not late. But I guess in the real world and in the fertility world, obviously as you get older, the chances reduce. But that's what essentially the doctor said to me. So me and Jamie kind of made the decision, again, towards the end of like, towards some autumn time, I think around my kind of like time frames, but towards that time we just kind of made the decision, like, when it happens, it happens. We was being careful up until kind of when I near enough kind of got to that stage of that diagnosis, and we just thought, you know what, me and Jamie, you know, we aren't parting ways. We aren't parting ways. This is kind of, we would like to bring like children into the world. We're in a position where we are able to. But yeah, we basically just kind of came to the conclusion, when it happens, it will happen. So in terms of falling pregnant, we weren't actively trying, but we wasn't being completely careful. I wasn't tracking, you know, I wasn't making sure, right, I'm ovulating. And for me as well, because I had that polycystic ovaries, I wasn't guaranteed I was ovulating every single month. And actually, the month of December to January was the only month where I had a 28-day cycle. And lo and behold, when did I fall pregnant? Was in that December and January cycle. So I actually think out of all my kind of 50, 60 days cycle, maybe I didn't ovulate, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that was kind of when it happened. And then I found out at the end of January, and yeah, 17 weeks later, we are here, we are sat doing this video. But I did just want to kind of share my experience with that, because if there's anybody that has got polycystic ovaries, trust me, there's hope. There's hope. And with all of that stress is what I was going to say. For me, when I found out, I actually found out 2 weeks prior to starting my new job. So when I first found out, it was really overwhelming for me. I was so excited, but it was just a lot going on. It was a lot, because I was starting this new job, just kind of found out I was pregnant. It was so much. It was a lot mentally to kind of get my head round. Obviously, there was like lots of new beginnings, right? But I've never underestimated underestimated divine timing. I believe everything happens for a reason. So of course I was happy, but I was also thinking, oh my God, I've got a new job in 2 weeks. Like, how's this? You know, it was so much. And at this point I had convinced myself, I literally convinced myself that I'd never be able to conceive. I had all that problems with kind of thinking I've got something in my head. And then obviously with the polycystic ovaries. So I just wanted to kind of share my experience falling pregnant with polycystic ovaries, because believe me, I've been there. I've been there where I thought, oh my God, like, fertility is going to be an issue. And I really do believe if I never had a 28-day cycle in December and January, then I don't know how long it would have taken us if we actually did try and conceive. I don't know. I know a little bit how about it works, but I think, I don't know, something was timed right there. So talking about kind of my first trimester experience, so I found out end of July, I think it was around the 23rd. I always, right, I never ever believed anyone that said that they were 7 months pregnant and they didn't find out until like they gave birth, or, you know, they didn't find out until like weeks and weeks ahead. I believe them now. I believe them, because honestly guys, from where I've had polycystic ovaries and my cycles have been 50 to 60 days like apart, I have always made sure to take a pregnancy test just to rule it out, because what I wouldn't want to happen is like to get to 80 days and think like, it's just my polycystic ovaries, because that could very well happen. So in January, when it was like getting to about, I think it was about 45 days, I got a pregnancy test and then it came back positive, and I was so shocked because I was thinking, oh my God, because I thought it was negative. There was no reason for me to think I was pregnant, because I just thought it's my polycystic ovaries. So yeah, that came back positive. And then kind of talking about my symptoms and kind of the whole first trimester experience, there was nothing that was telling me that I was pregnant, apart from I had really, really sore boobs. But I get that before periods anyway. But that would probably be my first telltale sign. I just had really sore boobs. And then I actually didn't experience, I was a bit nauseous, can never say that word. But I wasn't actually physically sick until after 10 weeks. Now at 10 weeks I caught COVID. The minute I caught COVID, that amplified my sickness by like 100 times. And the reason why is because every time I was coughing, it was making me heave, and there's so much phlegm. I suffered really, really badly with postnasal drip. So it was making me, honestly, I would wake up and I could feel so much phlegm in my kind of like throat. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, but it would literally make me throw up and make me heave. So I was actually really lucky, I think. And sometimes I think if I didn't have COVID, would I have ever actually been physically sick? Maybe I would have been, or maybe not. But I do think since I caught COVID, that is what amplified and made me physically sick. I also just went off coffee, which you guys know, I love my coffee. I have a coffee every morning, and actually I'd have like 2-3 cups of coffee, which of course I've cut down now. I only have the 1 coffee in the morning, but I had completely gone off it. The smell of it like just did not appeal to me. It was absolutely gross. And in terms of cravings, I didn't really have any cravings. Honestly guys, I've had quite a basic first trimester experience. It's not basic, but in terms of like physical symptoms and like cravings and stuff, it wasn't very exciting. At one point I did think I craved hash browns, but then like I feel like sometimes you hear about cravings and women go like above and beyond to get their hash brown, you know, like they literally walk through wind and rain and snowstorms to get to their cravings. But like I literally just like would order a hash brown. Like I wouldn't wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, I need a hash brown. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if that was ever a craving. I mean, I still would, if I had hash brown here, I'd still eat it. Like a hash brown is 10/10, especially from McDonald's. I actually had a hash brown yesterday, but I don't know, I'm not craving it, do you know what I mean? But I actually do think now I have had cravings for squash, which is in here, which, the reason why I think that is a new craving is because I've never been big into squash before, whereas hash browns, I've always loved a hash brown. But with that squash, like I'm not really a squash drinker, but recently, the last couple of weeks, I've literally just wanted squash, not water. So that's a new craving, I think it's a craving. I don't know, it's so hard to tell, because like I said, I feel like cravings are like these glorified cravings for food, and I don't know, I don't think I've experienced that exciting craving yet. Tiredness was a huge, if I was to say what symptoms did I struggle with the most out of my whole pregnancy, and even now, it would be tiredness. I'm not anemic, I've already had my bloods done. I have had anemia in the past, so whether that's going to slowly creep up with me, who knows. But right now I'm not iron, they don't need to give me any tablets for iron. But just the tiredness, guys, was really, really hard, and I actually really struggled mentally. I feel like a lot of people, when you hear about pregnancy, I think a lot of people focus on the physical symptoms, but what a lot of people don't focus on is the mental side. And that for me was the hardest part. I think as well because there was so much, like I said, it was very overwhelming for me. I was about to start my new job. I was thinking, oh sugar, like this is really bad timing. And luckily they've been so supportive, but I was just thinking, oh god, like what are the, you know, chances of this timing happening? And I think it was just very, very overwhelming. It was a lot to take in, and for me, not being able to feel like I can be productive and motivated because I was just so tired, was really hard, because I am someone that swears by a routine. Like, I live my life by a routine. I'm a really boring, basic girl, and for me not to have like be able to kind of wake up at a certain time, do my morning routine, go to work, come back, you know, do all these like productive things, and stick by my routine. I was just literally waking up 20 minutes before I had to leave to work because I was just so tired. I physically couldn't get out of bed. Every time I came home from work, I was just going straight to the sofa, ordering a takeaway because I could not be bothered to cook. And it was a vicious cycle. And I knew, even though I physically was so tired, and I knew that I had to listen to my body and give it that rest, that was what's making it hard. Because for me, I really, really wanted, you know, to get up and tidy and wash dishes and put the clothes away, and I wanted to kind of keep on top of the housework, but I couldn't. I literally couldn't. I was just so tired, guys. So tired, so exhausted, so unmotivated, and I just felt so different. Like, I didn't feel myself at all, and I think that is what I really struggled with out of everything that I experienced, all the physical symptoms. That was the hardest. Mentally, I found it so hard, and no one talks about that. Everyone talks about morning sickness, everyone talks about, you know, your boobs hurting. No one talks about what's like actually up there in your brain, because it's a lot to take in and it's a lot happening. You're so excited, you're so nervous, there's so many things at once, but I'm proud to say that I actually have got a bit of energy back, a lot more energy compared to what I had before. This house is relatively clean. I'm really trying to keep on top of it because I know the minute I let it slip, I'm not going to want to go around and, you know, do a deep clean. So I'm trying to keep on top of it. If there was one tip that I could give for all the girls out there, that even if you're not pregnant, but like, even if you get the ounce of energy, act upon that, because you don't know when that energy is going to come back. And trust me, like, if you just feel a little bit motivated, go wash your dishes or go put your clothes away or make your bed, because I promise you, it'll make you feel so much better. And every time I find that one bit of energy in that day, that one burst of energy, where am I going with this? That one burst of energy, I just act upon it and I get things done, and then I'll go back and be a sloth. I think I definitely have had too much time not doing videos. But yeah, we are now in my second trimester. I think as the weeks are going by, I'm becoming more and more excited. At first I found it hard to kind of get my head wrapped around. I was very overwhelmed. I'd like, what the hell is going on? Now I'm just like, I'm almost ready to nest. Do you know what I mean? I'm ready to get into that nursery. I've already, well, it was soon to be nursery, and I've already started buying a few bits, but maybe I'll do a vlog where I can show you guys what I've got so far. We are going to find out the gender. We was planning on doing a whole gender reveal, but do you know what, after we kind of spoke about it, we realised we're quite happy just like either us finding out and just keeping it very intimate with our close, our immediate family, rather than kind of doing a whole big gender reveal. All I care about is that the baby is healthy. That's all I care. Every time I go for these tests, you know, even I had my 16-week appointment, midwife appointment last week, and they took a while to find the heartbeat and it was very scary, but the midwife said that she could see it. I don't know if you can see on, like, they've got what they use, I don't know what it's actually called, the thing that they use on your belly, but she said that she could see the heartbeat, but she was saying like, oh, but we want your mummy to hear. But I honestly just said, like, as long as you can see that the heartbeat's there and you can see that it's all good, that's all I care about. Obviously I'd love to hear the heartbeat, and I did get to hear the heartbeat, and it's very cute. It's at 148 beats per minute. It's so quick. The heart is beating so quick. But all I care about is just, you know, even if it's not healthy, I still love it, but all I want is them to be healthy and happy. But that being said, I am highly convinced it's a boy. I am highly convinced. I've honestly convinced myself so much that it's a boy that I kind of don't care about finding out about gender, because I'm really excited. But I feel like I've convinced myself so much it's a boy that I know I'm going to go into that scan and they're going to say it's a boy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I've had a pretty easy first trimester. I'm not sure. I don't know why I think it's a boy, but in my gut it's just telling me it's a boy. So yeah, we'll be finding out 3 weeks time. 9th of May is when we find out, so that's gonna come around so quick. But yeah guys, I am gonna end it here because I can see my battery is gonna die, and I actually don't know how quick the Sony batteries last. I'm not sure. But I hope this has helped. I wanted to really kind of focus mainly on the PCOS, because obviously, like I said, I know that when I was diagnosed, I just thought that I'm never going to conceive, and hopefully this gives someone a bit of light, who knows. Let me know if there's anyone out there that's expecting. I share a lot on my TikTok, so if you want to come over and say hi, come over and say hi. But I'm so excited to be back on YouTube. I'm so excited to document this journey, and I'm just excited to see where this takes us. I feel like this is a new chapter, and honestly, I feel like I was built for this life. Like, I'm not a social butterfly in the slot. Actually, I kind of am when it comes to YouTube, but in terms of like going out with friends and going to clubs and things like that in busy environments, it's not for me. It's where me and Jamie are very, very similar. I'm a home person. Like, I love to be at home. I love being with my family, and I love being in my own comfort space. And for me, I feel like I was kind of destined for this. I don't know if I'm destined to, like, I think I am destined for a mum, to be a mother, but guys, my camera died on me. I think that's a sign telling me that I need to wrap this up. But yeah, I'm just so excited. I think I was saying like how Jamie and I both are very similar in the sense we don't care about kind of going out, getting drunk. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that's not our lifestyle, and I've never ever been like that. I've always been someone that just likes to be at home, have a routine, and the fact that I can now kind of start my own family traditions, and that's just what really excites me. Like, even down to the little things of having a meal around the table. Like, I just can't wait. I can't wait for the memories, and I'm just so excited. Don't get me wrong, I am nervous as hell. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you should see my search history on Google. In fact, you don't even want to see it because I have Googled some weird things. But that is just like the part of motherhood and being a first time mum. And yeah, we're just excited to meet this little one. Guys, I'm just uploading or editing this video, and for whatever reason it like froze and then went really, really loud, you know, like a static sound. So I have no idea, but I was just saying goodbye anyway. But I didn't want to just cut off the video like that. I thought that wouldn't, you know, it's such a nice video. I'm not gonna end it like that. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. I really feel like technology for the last 4 months, because my Canon went in the repair shop in October, and I've only just got a new camera now. But I feel like technology has not been my best friend recently. Don't know why. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Please take everything, not what I say with like a pinch of salt, but obviously this is my experience. I'm still learning. I know we kind of spoke about kind of like health stuff and things like that, but yeah. Make sure you follow my TikTok, because I'm always posting on there. I'm posting near enough, not every day, but most days. And on my Instagram as well, everything will be linked down below. And if you guys are expecting, let me know. I'd love to kind of create like a little girl gang of expecting mothers, so we can all figure this out together. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.